My aunt's new boyfriend mocked my grandpa's deck, so Grandpa grabbed a sledgehammer. Grandpa has always been the gentlest guy in our family. He's 82, quiet, and he still wears his old wedding ring. He doesn't yell, he doesn't brag, he just fixes things and takes care of people. Last Sunday we had my cousin's baby shower at Grandpa's place by the lake. On the wooden deck he built himself years ago. He built it when Grandma got sick because he said keeping busy stopped him from worrying all day. It's solid. Straight boards, clean corners, nothing fancy, just done right. We had about 20 people out there with paper plates, food, balloons, and that loud family chatter. The sun was bright and hot. Then my aunt arrived with her new boyfriend, Derek. Mid-40s, tech job, shiny polo, and an Apple Watch he kept tapping like it was urgent. Right away he started talking like he owned the air. He lectured my teenage cousins about crypto, then grilled my uncle about his retirement, and smirked at every answer. People kept doing that polite laugh, but you could feel it getting tight. My dad was clenching his jaw. My mom kept giving him the don't start look. Grandpa stayed calm, passing napkins, checking on Grandma, acting like Derek was just background noise. Derek didn't stop. He pointed at the house and talked about upgrades and modernizing like it was a business project. He even walked to the railing and pressed down on it with his hand, like he was testing a shopping cart. "This is nice," he said, "but it's kind of old." Grandpa casually said, "I built this deck myself." It wasn't a flex, it was just a fact. Derek laughed out loud, not a little chuckle, a full, mocking laugh that made conversations die for a second. "With your arthritis?" he said. "Come on, let the younger generation handle the heavy stuff." He tapped the railing with 2 fingers like it was weak. "This whole thing needs an update. You should get real professionals in here." My cousin's friend tried to change the subject by offering Derek more food. Derek waved her off without looking. Grandpa nodded once and kept eating his cake, but his hands were shaking. Not from age, from holding back. I've seen those hands build a treehouse and fix an engine in the driveway without ever asking for help. Derek took the silence as permission. He said, "My dad's your age. We had to take his power tools away before he hurt himself. Seniors don't realize when they're past their prime. It's dangerous." He looked around at us like he expected nods and agreement. Nobody gave him one. Then he leaned toward my aunt and said, loud enough for everyone, "Seriously, you should talk to him. This deck is a safety issue. The liability alone is crazy." That's when the whole mood changed. Even the kids got quieter. Grandma stared down at her plate. My uncle stopped chewing. Someone turned the music down. Grandpa set his fork down like he'd made a decision. He stood up, brushed crumbs off his khakis, and walked off the deck without saying a word. For a beat, nobody moved. Derek's smile got wider, like he thought Grandpa was walking away in defeat. Then we heard Grandpa's old red Ford start up with that rough cough it always has. He didn't drive off. He popped the tailgate and started digging around. We watched him move jumper cables, an old toolbox, and a bucket of bolts, and then he pulled out a sledgehammer. He carried it back like it weighed nothing. The talking stopped so fast you could hear the lake water lapping. Someone dropped a plastic fork and nobody even reached for it. Derek's face twitched, like he was trying to decide if this was a joke. Grandpa walked to the center of the deck, looked right at him and said, "Derek." His voice was calm, almost polite. "You're worried about safety, so let's talk about safety." He pointed down at the boards with the hammerhead. "This deck has 16 support beams. I cut every one myself. Every joint is reinforced. Every screw is set deep and sealed." Derek tried to laugh again, but it came out thin. Grandpa stepped to the railing, raised the sledgehammer over his head, and brought it down with one clean swing. The crack echoed across the lake, and a couple birds shot up from the water. The railing didn't collapse. The deck under our feet didn't even shake. The wood split exactly where Grandpa aimed, straight along the grain, like he meant to prove a point, not lose control. Grandpa rested the hammer on his shoulder and stared at Derek. "43 years as a union carpenter," he said. "I built half the houses around here." Derek's face went pale. His mouth opened and closed, and nothing came out. "This deck will outlast both of us," he said. "But please, tell me more about being past my prime." He set the sledgehammer down gently against a chair and sat back down. Derek didn't say another word. He muttered something about an important call and left early, and my aunt rushed after him. Now my aunt is saying I embarrassed her boyfriend. Was I wrong?